Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Martin's University. Scott Gladstone with you as we have GNAC women's basketball live from Marcus Pavilion. Alongside me is David Bocook, a former SMU coach, as well as just basketball sports extraordinaire in our St. Martin's in our St. Martin's workforce, and somebody that helps me go through all the simulations of the college football playoff that is overwhelming my mind right now. David, before we even get back into that, let's talk about the matchup we have tonight, which is Central Washington versus the St. Martin Saints. Central Washington, the visiting team coming in here. The big question for them, the departure of Samantha Bowman, one of the best players in the country last year, not just the GNAC player of the year. But the thing about this Wildcat squad is they have some young guards that have stepped up in her absence.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job so far. A couple young guards, sophomores now, that are averaging over 20 points a game, and Huerta and Kai. And, sometimes having an All-American post player like that is the best thing you can have for young guards to kind of teach them the right way to play the game. And then suddenly when that post player leaves, the guards pick up the slack and they don't miss a step.
And on the other side, Natalie Marlowe, rookie head coach here, coached her first GNAC game on Thursday. When you think about this conference from both the men and the women's side, in terms of getting up to speed with what the GNAC is about, it's a physical brand of basketball. There's long road trips, all that stuff. What do you think kind of the quickest tip to getting up to speed in GNAC basketball is as they play game 2 under Marlowe in the GNAC era?
I think it is the physicality. It's an extremely physical conference, and more importantly, you just have to learn to value every possession. There's such closely contested games that every possession matters, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth.
Awesome. Well, we will bring you this contest very shortly, but first we have our national anthem. We'll step aside for that. Talk at the end of a possession when either a turnover or a missed shot is happening, just to kind of talk through what's happening there. But unless it's a quick, fast break, then I'll try and fill that in. Especially if he's bringing it up before early in the shot clock. That's your time to step in whenever it's day. I mean, sometimes I'll prompt you, but.
Randy Richter Thornley, the head coach, assisted by Jessica Ricketson and Ashley Fisher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet to meet the Saints. Senior, from Hilo, Hawaii, Harold
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Those were your starting lineups. Once again, the starting lineups brought to you by Forelli's Pizza is on the Central Washington side, Annalie Coronado, Sonny Huerta, Capri Sims, Asher Kai, and Tori Maida. Those two guards that David and I were talking about earlier, that's Huerta and Kai, sophomore and junior there. They are very, very good. On the other side for St. Martin's, their Forelli starting lineups is Keely Jade Smith, Angel Galbraith, Madeline Brown, Sarah Lamette, and Lauren Morris. Once again, those are your Forelli's Pizza starting lineups. Great people make great pizza. The tip went to Central Washington. We are underway here just at the 3 o'clock hour.
Important to get a good start here for the Saints. Central's such a high-scoring offense that anytime you can get it off to a quick start against a team like this, it's going to help you down the stretch.
Went off to a 7-0 start over Northwest Nazarene, but that was kind of the peak as things went downhill against the Nighthawks throughout and ended up with a rough second half showing. It is a early foul call on Lamette there, who was switched, and once again she switched on a screen, and they go into a double foul. Now back to it. 10 on the shot clock. To the bucket and in, and we see right away Sonny Huerta, the strong finish for the 5'4" guard.
Yeah, high-level finish there. Very, very highly difficult shot. Sarah came over and did a good job contesting. That's just a beautiful finish.
Sarah Lamette, a 6'4" center. She's going to take a three here, and that one's not going to go in. Rebound, Coronado.
That's something that St. Martin's definitely needs to take strides in as this season goes on. We've struggled shooting from beyond the arc so far.
On one side, a 33% three-point field goal percentage for Central Washington, 28% from St. Martin's. Speaking of right on cue, a three-pointer from Tori Maida.
Not a great start against this high-powered offense. We need to make them we need to take our time here on offense, make them play a little defense, work the ball around, and get a good shot.
Offensive screen is going to result in a turnover there as Lauren Morris just into the roll a little bit, or kind of shuffling her feet while trying to create some space for Angel Galbraith.
Important defensive possession here. If we don't get a stop, you might see an early timeout from Coach Marlowe.
8.5 to go here in quarter number one. Once again.
Oh, no.
That was a much better hedge than the first time that Lamette got called for a foul, but she gets dinged with one there.
That's tough. That's tough going for Sarah. She's such an important piece to this defense and offense that having her with two early fouls in less than 2 minutes, that's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
Like Cuddius is going to step onto the scorer's table. 2 quick fouls will get your post out of there real quick.
Well, this is an opportunity for Cuddius. She needs to step up and fill a role here. It's important that she remains strong. Does a good job with help defense here.
Saints, part of their defensive philosophy under Natalie Marlowe, has been switching on nearly every screen. With 5 on the shot clock, we'll see what they do here. Curious, good step in, then leaves number 1, Coronado, open from three-point land, and then the ball eventually goes out off of Central Washington. You mentioned that was a big defensive possession. And I was wondering how that was out off Central Washington, because it looked like Lauren Morris did touch it last. It looked like there could have been a foul as well. Then our official just announced he pointed the wrong way. It is Central Washington ball with 8:02 to go.
No, I think you're right. I think Lauren probably did get fouled there, and sometimes, showing your strength kind of keeps you from getting the foul called, and maybe sell that just a little bit.
Right now we're seeing Madeline Brown with good stick-em defense there. Nearly a travel by Coronado after a pump fake. Now Kai with it, guarded by Lauren Morris. And they're going to call the hand check.
It's not my favorite call growing up in the 80s and 90s, but at the same time, by the letter of the law, that is the right call.
And in general, when you're a coach or a player and you see 3 calls happening on hand checks outside quick, how do you try and get the players to wrap their mentality around it as we see that one go blocked and out? It'll be a wildcat ball under the hoop.
It has to be something that you discuss. You have to make the adjustment, keep those hands up. The refs are calling it very, very quickly. And also maybe take advantage knowing that you're going to get some calls back the other way as you see a beautiful step-in charge taken there by Kiana.
Well, just in general, when there's a couple fouls called on a team, referees, whether it's conscious or not, they do think about, hey, we got to make sure this stays even, and Kiana was smart there to see and take that charge.
It's great to see a high IQ play like that, especially early in the game. You want to make sure and get as many of those as you can. Beautiful finish there by Madeline.
Madeline Brown goes off glass. Saints go into a press, and now trying to get it over the timeline, and indeed they do.
Hands up, hands up.
Once again, attack in the bucket there is Huerta. Missed shot, offensive rebound. Coronado with it.
Gosh, you hate to see him give a second possession like that, but sometimes the bounces don't go your way.
Three-pointer. Got it to go. Once again, another three-pointer from Tori Maida.
We're over-rotating a little bit. When you get a wide-open shot in the corner like that, there was some sort of miss.
Foul called on against Angel Galbraith. The foul was committed on her. She'll go to the line to shoot two.
You won't see very many people as skilled at getting fouled as Angel. The angles of her release just make it really hard for the defender not to foul her. That's why you see so many free throws by her. I think she led the conference last year in free throw attempts.
By quite a bit. free throw attempts and free throw makes. She makes this one.
It's just such a bizarre angle. You're not used to it, and it's a natural reaction to just kind of chop down at the ball. And she's very good at that.
Makes both. Here's your numbers this year, David. 54 free throws attempted by Angel Galbraith. The next closest is 9 by the Saints. So she's very much high and away in first place on the Saints in free throws attempted. Nobody else is in double figures, and she's over 50.
That's a great stat by her, but also alarming for the rest of the team, especially for, beautiful block there.
Curious with a rejection. Now fast break coming the other way. It's 3-on-3. Angel Galbraith to the hoop. Doesn't get fouled, but gets it to go.
Great finish. Always starts on the defensive end. Beautiful to get points off turnovers like that. Right into another turnover. Saints defense just smothering Central there.
And the Saints, they have a method, a strategy of coming out and pressing after made baskets. Talk us through doing that compared to just doing it all the time. What makes it easier after made baskets?
Well, it allows you to get your defense set and get in the right position. If you're just trying to press the entire game, you end up giving up more lay-ins than anything. As Kyrgios takes the three there. Beautiful shot. Well done.
Not really her shot, but Kyrgios knocks one down for three-point land. Saints have a 9-8 lead after a rough start.
She shot it with conviction. Looked good.
Saints are up right now. Curious, that is her first attempted and first made three of the day. That's a rejection by Madeline Brown. And it's going to be a inbound under the basket for Central Washington.
It's good physical defense. I'm a little surprised there wasn't a call there, but we'll take it. And well done. There's the makeup call. I think the ref agreed with me that he was a little surprised.
One was eventually going to come against Madeline Brown, I guess. She is one of the kind of defensive players on this squad, Madeline Brown. And she's asking for clarification right now because she does, when she's allowed to play smothering defense like she was on Thursday when they weren't calling a lot of fouls, she plays it very physical. Saints have Central Washington in the bonus, so it'll be 2 shots.
Man, that's really early to get into the bonus. We still have more than half the quarter left. We're going to have to tone down the fouling a little bit, adjust.
First free throw is made by Kai. At the free throw line, part of her and Sonny Huerta's combination for how they've been so good is they both are shooting over 90% from the charity stripe.
Man, it is such a luxury to have guards that shoot that high a percentage from the free throw line when you can just almost guarantee it's going in.
Now Keely Jade Smith attacks. She floats, can't get it to go off the front of the rim.
It's a good shot, though. That's her shot. That's her game. I'd like to see her take a little more to the basket, maybe boost up those free throw attempts. She's one of those people that should get to the line more.
That one's blocked out of bounds. The Saints, again, doing a good job getting their paws on the ball when Central is attacking the basket. Kai goes full throw across the pass, or full throw across the court, and a traveling is called before the three-point attempt. This is our first timeout on the floor. 4:59 to go in quarter number one. Saints and Wildcats close. It is Central up by 1 as we head to our first media timeout. Welcome back, 4:59 to go. We are in a one-point game right now. Early, Central Washington comes in as favorites in this contest based on their 7-3 record. Saints are 2-5, but right now, early, Saints playing it close. And this conference, both on the men's and the women's side, any team can give any team a run for their money. Keely Jade Smith with it. Smith lost it going to the basket, now on the ground, still scrumming for it, and eventually it will work out as a jump ball. Saints retain possession.
Don't want to give away possessions like that, just an unforced error. Such a team that's so high-powered like Central, you need to get every possession you can out of these. Important inbound here. Coach Marlowe has a play drawn up. If you can score on your out-of-bounds plays, it gives you such an advantage in the game is to draw something up and get an easy bucket.
Correas, who already hit a three, gets it down to Kiana Rios. Rios blocked the first attempt, now kicks it out to Koki. Koki rotates it around to Galbraith. Galbraith shoots that mid-range up, missed shot, but a scrum for a rebound there. And we talk about possessions, and yes, the Saints lost the jump ball, but that was earning the jump ball arrow back thanks to good hustle by Rios.
Yeah, great competitive spirit there, getting down, getting on the floor. You love to see that sort of fire, especially someone coming off of the bench, and it's well done by Kiana.
Saints kind of that 1-2-2 full court press. Once again, now Kai being guarded by Curious, who played it pretty well, but the three-pointer is up and good.
She did play it about as well as you can, just a better shot. Good offense beats good defense a lot of the time.
Angel Galbraith. Now Smith. Getting the pick from Curious, getting into Rios, now Koki. Good
Beautiful
find
pass.
and Curious under the basket. And she flips it out where Rios will get to it. 5 on the shot clock here. Floater. Couldn't get the roll.
It's a tough shot, but down at the end of the shot clock, not much else to be done.
Now down to the post. Another scrum for the ball. Curious will come out with it.
It's a good job stealing the possession back. It's important.
13-9 scoreline, 3:20 to go. To the basket goes Angel Galbraith, and that had some contact, and the rim nearly let it go through, but it comes up as a missed layup.
It's a tough no call there, but Angel gets those calls more often than not, and she just needs to keep attacking.
Exactly, especially with Lamette off the floor. The only other player averaging double figures for the Saints is Angel Galbraith. So her scoring is going to need to come up as that's Kai turning around and getting it to go.
And that's really been the Achilles heel so far for the Saints, hasn't it? You need that third scorer to kind of step up. And a couple times it's been Keeley, a couple times it's been Lauren. Kiana's had a couple good nights, but we need a consistent third scorer to step in and really hit that 15-point to 20-point mark.
They tried to get it to a posting up Kiana Rios, but it's deflected away. Now coming down is Huerta on a great find to get it to Capri Sims.
Beautiful little pocket pass. Hard to defend that.
See somebody that's averaging 20 coming down the lane, you tend to go help, and Sims wide open, the freshman from Post Falls, makes it a 17-9 game. We'll take another quick break after a timeout by Natalie Marlowe. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2:25 to go here in quarter number one. St. Martin's and Central Washington. It is a Wildcats 17-9 lead here. The Saints took a 9-8 lead, but since then it has been 9 unanswered by Central. Keely Jade Smith attacks the bucket, and again, Saints don't have that many turnovers, but just a couple missed shots.
Love to see a little more patience there from Keeley. She's so strong and can drive basically whenever she wants. You'd love to see her take that shot maybe with 10 left on the shot clock as opposed to right away.
Block and foul will be called on the Saints, which will send Central to the free throw line here. We mentioned already in the bonus are the Wildcats.
It's going to be important to finish this quarter out strong. We've already given up 17 points. Looking at cresting that 20-point mark, and that's just too much for a quarter. Can't be taking early shots like that. You need to have a little more patience, run the clock a little bit, make them play defense, get them out of rhythm.
First shot is good from Huerta, as I mentioned. She is 37 for 41 from the free throw line coming in, 90.2%.
Not even a thought she was going to miss that.
St. Martin's with it. This is Koki on the floor. Brown, Rios, Smith, and Galbraith as well. It's a small ball lineup for SMU. And as Galbraith hits the deck near the free throw line, it should be a foul on Kira Marsh.
The Saints are going really small. And, I just mentioned Keeley's strength, and they had her in there kind of playing the 5, looking to get a post up on a smaller player. She's definitely capable of doing that.
Yeah, tallest players for Central Washington is they have Aaliyah Finch, who was the top scorer for Yakima Valley College last year. Curry is going to take a long 2. That one's a little miss. Rebound, Kai.
Contested long mid-range 2-pointers may be the worst shot in basketball. So it's a tough one to justify taking.
Timeout, I believe, by Central Washington here. Head coach Randy Richardson Thornley wants to change something up with their defense here. They got a 10-point, or with their offense, they got a 10-point lead, 1:23 to go. We'll take another quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. The Saints have been scoreless for the last 4.5 minutes of game time. They are 1 for 7 of their last 7 field goals, and it's an 11-0 run currently. That's being gone on by Central Washington after the Saints took a 9-8 lead. Saints are in a zone defense, it looks like. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they switched into a little 1-3-1, try to confuse Central out of the timeout. The timeout that Central took allowed them to switch into that, and they get the turnover out of it. Well done, coach.
Madeline Brown will go to the bucket, off glass and good. Strong left hand.
Nice finish from the lefty. Such an advantage to have a left-handed player there that can score. It just kind of throws the defense off a little bit.
Back into the zone defense here. Saints get another steal. Poke it back in. Rios does to Keely Jade Smith, who bring it up the floor. 44 seconds to go. Yeah, that 1-3-1, maybe it's almost what the men do in terms of that 2-3 with the elevated wings. It is, it's causing Central some problems on their last 2 possessions.
It's a different defense, and especially a team like Central that runs their own 2-3, as you see Kiana score there. They're not used to practicing against something like a 1-3-1. It's odd, and the angles are a little different.
Rios goes off glass to make it 19-13. Now the final defensive possession as the shot clock is turned off. Just 10 seconds to go. Saints are still in the zone.
You can see they're very apprehensive. Oof.
But they got the 3 to go. With the seconds ticking down off the clock, it's another three-pointer from Tori Maida, who made 3 threes in that quarter. And I believe she is the leading scorer among everybody with 9 total points, all from behind the arc. We are 1 quarter down. It's a 9-point lead for Central Washington, but the Saints, a couple runs at different points, keeping them within some sense of a reach here. We'll be right back with the second quarter in just a few moments. Welcome back. We got 1 quarter down. Scott Gladstone, David Bocook with you. David, first quarter, what did you see that you liked from St. Martin's? What did you not like?
Well, it was rough getting into early foul trouble with Sarah. It kind of changed the complexion of the half, but I thought that Curious stepped up well. Tough break by Kiana there.
That was a rejection by Asher Kai. Might have been out on the first bounce, as we're seeing another quick foul there, just like you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, on the offensive side, we need to see a little bit more patience. Defensively, coach threw in the wrinkle there of the 1-3-1. I would imagine she'll go back to man and just kind of use that selectively as a weapon.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it is back to man and man here, I believe. Maybe not. I don't know. Trying to get a read on that. Maybe just hard help. Missed three-pointer, but another offensive rebound. Keely Jade Smith, however, steals it back. Kick out. Rios. In and out. Offensive rebound. Curious and puts it in.
Beautiful job by Curious. And a great find by Angel to get Kiana the open shot. Kiana's a terrific three-point shooter, but it is on a catch-and-shoot basis, so we give up one the other way.
Madeline Brown rebounds it. 7-point game right now. Brown will slow it up.
It's a good decision. Didn't have numbers. Little horns look. Angel with an open shot.
Can't get it to go. Rebound Kai.
And Angel is the one that we really need to see turn around that three-point percentage. She's a very good shooter, and it just hasn't been falling for her. you could tell in that Horns defense they just sagged off and they gave her the shot. Maybe she's lacking a little confidence because of the early struggles.
Foul as I believe that was Huerta. Yeah, Huerta headed to the basket. Got the foul call. In terms of three-point percentage for the Saints, of Saints that take a lot of threes, it's Rios that is atop the mark. She was last year as well. Angel Galbraith is 5 of 21. It's not necessarily a shot. I feel like when I usually see her make it, it's usually off a spot up. But maybe that's just me trying to recollect everything.
Well, the catch and shoot three is the easier shot. You're already set. So it takes a different type of player to be able to shoot off the bounce for the three ball. You see that a lot from Keeley, though.
Yep.
Kiana as well. It's just a catch and shoot shooter.
Nice backdoor cut by Koki, but she was in a weird spot to try and score from there, so she kicked it back out. Now 10 on the shot clock. Galbraith attacking the hoop, can't get the roll. Koki attacking the boards, it's out off her.
It's a beautiful little crossover, couldn't quite get the left-handed finish. I think she was maybe expecting contact and it just didn't quite come.
Yeah, you talk about how skilled she is at getting to the free throw line, and I think that was a situation where maybe some more inexperienced guards might have sent her to the free throw line, but the Wildcats avoided doing that.
And it's hard to finish when you're expecting to be hit and then you're not. It just throws off everything.
Nice backdoor cut and a kick out. It's going to be out of bounds. Good job by the defense of the Saints to force an errant pass.
Really heady play there by Angel to step in on the help D and cause that turnover.
8 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Saints still have it with single digits. Cross-court pass intercepted. Nice play by Sonny Huerta.
You know, anytime you cross that midline with a pass, it's going to be highly, highly probable that it gets intercepted. I remember Coach Landon preaching that to his guys over and over, that you don't pass across the midline, and it's just one of those basketball lessons that if you can take it, it's going to make you more successful.
There's a missed shot by Kai on a 3, and then the offensive rebound was more just a poke off of the lower body of Lauren Morris. That's a missed shot. Rebound, Koki. Koki gets it to Galbraith. Rios battling on that post. Now she has good positioning for an offensive rebound. She's in the mix for it, but it ends up bouncing out to Huerta.
It's a good shot, though. Rios is shooting that like it's her shot, and if you're going to shoot it with that much conviction, I'm all for it.
Force another turnover, do the Saints.
Got to convert here.
Now out to Rios. She spots up for 3. Too much on it. Goes just off the backboard, and Asher Kyle slowed up.
She wanted that shot so bad that when the defense was there, she hurried it anyway and didn't really have time to get into her rhythm.
6 minutes, 40 seconds to go, and that's Lily Koki with a rejection.
Nice rejection there. You'd like to see Cuddy step in and take a charge there. She's not guarding a shooter in the corner. You had the perfect opportunity to step in and against a player that was coming downhill a little bit out of control.
Sarah Lamette checks back into the game now. One of the key players for the Saints, their leading scorer this year, on 2 fouls.
She's going to have to be careful. It's a dangerous situation for Sarah. If she picks up her 3rd, it's going to be trouble.
She's going to be guarded by the 5'9" Shelby Blotchett, and she's going to get a chance to go up against her in the post right away. Now Koki under the basket. Sarah Lamette loses it on a pass that wasn't perfect from Koki.
Man, hard to throw a bounce pass to a 6'5" player. Not where Sarah wants that pass, especially on the move. If you are going to bounce it, it needs to come up and hit her in the chest, not the knee. That's just hard to control.
Another foul on the Saints. Right now, fouls are 9-3 in favor of Central Washington. 9 called on the Saints. That one was Brown's second. Sarah Lamette got switched onto Maida, tried to get Angel Galbraith to go back to her. I think Central Washington trying to take advantage of the fact that the Saints switch a lot on screens and kind of handoffs. Three-pointer. Too long, in and out of the hands of Koki, then to Huerta onto the basket. She misses a layup. Then another offensive rebound out to Maida, who has made 3 threes already, and I'm surprised she didn't take another one.
I am too, and I'm also surprised Sarah didn't get called on the foul on that. And really lucked out, especially considering that the refs have been calling a lot on St. Martin's.
Shelby Blodgett has 5, maybe even 7 inches less than, as we see a foul called there on Blodgett. She's given up 7 inches to Sarah Lamette.
Yeah, and you see she's trying to make up with that with physicality. She's got 2 hands on the body there. It's an easy call for the ref.
I'll tell you what, I remember as there was one guy that I played against that he was a little bit shorter than me. He was easy to post up. It was fine. Then he spent the whole offseason in the weight room, and it was like trying to post up a brick wall or something. And physicality on the post, it's not as high as height, but it's up there if you can be strong in the post.
It is up there, and
ooh, that ball's poked out. It'll be an inbounds coming for St. Martin's.
yeah, and you see after that foul called on Central, they quickly subbed in someone else to guard Sarah, and now Sarah's going to the bench.
Like Curious back in there.
I'd like to see a little post up for Lauren here, kind of get her involved in the game. We haven't heard her name called at all.
Ooh, there's an aggressive play as Angel Galbraith gets fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 after Aaliyah Finch gets called for it.
She is so amazingly quick that it's hard to take a charge on her. She switches her angles quick, has a nice little Euro step, and it's just hard to take a charge and actually get that call.
Jalen Rios now checking in here. She'll play on the floor alongside of her sister, Kiana Rios. First free throw from Galbraith is good. It's a 10-point Saints deficit.
This is a good place for us to score and close the gap. If we can keep getting into the line, kind of give us a breather to reset ourselves, set our defense.
Coronado brings it up the floor, guarded by Kiana Rios. Now Jalen Rios guarding Asher Kai.
Just getting a little handsy.
The only freshman on this Saints squad, Jalen Rios. Nice move by Coronado up and over Laya Curious.
It's a tough move over the contest. Well done on the finish.
Rios now gets a screen from Curious. Good pick and roll to the
Beautiful.
bucket. The Spaniard sends it down.
You love to see that, and you see Kiana a little bit more savvy. Gave the ball to the post up top where she could handle it and keep moving.
When you talked earlier about where to post want it, they want it higher up, and that was a perfect placement on the pass. Ball being rotated around. It's going to end up with a good look on that left side. It's an air ball. Rebound goes to Finch, and then Curious overplays it and allows her to get to the bucket for the layup.
Yeah, that's one of those moments you know you have position, you have the block out, and you just kind of give up on it a little early, and it ends up costing you a possession and a bucket. Beautiful shot there by the freshman.
Jalen Rios for 3. As I look down at the stats, that is her first collegiate three-pointer. She is now 1 for 2 on the year from distance.
Congratulations. I hope it's the first of many.
Three-pointer the other way, rattles in and out, and that one is going to be off of the Saints. Looks like Kai had the position there, so I thought it was going to get called off of her, but it will be Saints ball under the basket when we return from this media timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Central Washington St. Martin's on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back. 3:40 to go in the first half here at Marcus Pavilion. 30-21 is the score. Saints have had a couple runs against them, but they've kept it within 10 on a very good Central Washington team.
Yeah, they stepped up the defense a little bit, got some turnovers. Need to come up with the stop here and then close the gap to 7.
Final 3.5 minutes of this half are going to be big for both sides. Decide the demeanor going in the locker room and a late
that's a
whistle.
Tough call. That's a tough call.
I think it was Kiana Rios who was putting a hand. Maybe it was on the lower body. It looked like whoever was trying to block it was clean. Maybe somebody rushed the lower body, and maybe that's what they called.
I mean, they called on the arm.
Oh, they did.
I mean, if it's lower body, give me a push. I don't know. I think that's a tough call.
Asher Kai now will take 2 free throws. We've already mentioned how automatic both her and Huerta are, and sticks true to that. I'll tell you what, I'm a free throw absolutist. I think they're called free for a reason, and I love to see 2 key players with 90+%. That's so hard to beat, especially when you get close games late. To have 2 guards that you can get it to that'll knock down clutch free throws, that's big.
Yeah, and I mean, not only are they clutch free throw shooters, but they're both shot creators.
Yeah.
They're not, catch and shoot people, so they're going to get a lot of free throw attempts, and that's hard to beat, and that's how you become a really consistent scorer. If you can get to the line 7-8 times a game and shoot 90%, you're going to average 20.
Lamette gets a push on the back there, turns, tries to go off glass with it. Had some physicality from behind there, goes uncalled, and she can't make the bucket.
A little hurried, and you see that with Sarah on the regular. 3 goes up, offside rebound. Oh, we got to come up with that. And that's a 2-1 situation. You have to come up with that rebound.
A little bit scrambled on the box out it seemed, and then a count it and the foul for Annalie Coronado, the freshman out of Othello, Washington.
Yeah, she knew she had the mismatch there. You'd like to see Cuddius, know her personnel just a little bit better, as Coronado shoots about 16% from 3. You need to back off there and force her to shoot the long range.
Cuddius will check out. In comes Lauren Morris for her. This is the entirety of the starting 5 except Madeline Brown is out and Kiana Rios is in. Free throw is made, 14-point lead now. Just said a second ago how the end of this first half is going to decide the mood going into the locker room, and right now it's not going the Saints' way.
And this is maybe the roster that you'd have out there as your most offensively minded roster. So Coach Marlowe's looking to make a little push here, try to at least get it under double digits before the half.
See if Rios can make some big shots, or Smith or Galbraith, who fires it away and can't get it to go.
It's a good look, but you see on those high ball screens, they're going under. They've done their scouting, and they're going to go under and force her to shoot that 3.
Kai now attacks the hoop, and she gets the lefty layup.
Just no help defense present there. Saints got a little too focused on their own player and didn't realize that Keeley had got blown by a little bit.
Galbraith looking down low. Lamette is being guarded by Capri Sims, 6-foot freshman. Lauren Morris finds Galbraith, who will go to the hoop. Counted and 1 for Angel Galbraith.
It's a great finish by Angel. Also, though, I like the action going down there to Lauren. Lauren's a good passer, smart player. She found the open person. Get a little double team, and Lauren's able to find the open person out of it. Good offense by the Saints.
Hockey sub right now by Natalie Marlowe, who takes out everybody but Angel Galbraith.
Smart move by Coach, getting Sarah back on the bench. Minute 30 left. Doesn't want to pick up her 3rd foul. Also goes to a defensive lineup here, hoping to get a stop before half.
Free throw made by Galbraith. 37-24 is the score line. Cross-court pass going to lead to a wide-open attempt and splash from Aaliyah Smith.
And that's the downside of the hockey sub, right? Is you need great communication by the team. Everyone has their person. You see someone just gets lost there and they give up a wide open shot.
Koki with it now to Jalen Rios. Rios thought about maybe trying to make another three today. Now it's rotated around to Curious. Back to Jalen Rios. Puts it on the ground. She attacks, flips it up, and misses the shot. Nearly commits a foul on the rebound.
You know what? I like the confidence, though, from the freshman. You see every time she gets the ball, she's looking at the hoop. She's trying to be a threat, and that's important. If you're going to be out there, you need to be a threat.
Madeline Brown on defense on Huerta. Huerta gets it to go. Difficult shot with some contact.
Man, that's a high-level finish. Little Euro step with a pull through of the ball. Hard angle. It's just a nice finish. Hard to defend that.
Jalen Rios. Now Tax gets it to Brown. Brown to Koki. Galbraith. Separation between game and shot is about 7 seconds. That one's poked out of bounds off of Tori Maida. Inbounds coming on the basket with 15.1, 8 on the shot clock right now. So the Saints don't need to rush it too much. They do need to be aware, as that's not the shot you want to get, and the ball's being knocked around. Shot clock has expired. Honestly, that could have been a shot clock violation, because I really think that should have been a shot clock violation, because that shot did not hit rim, and there was not clear possession of it by either side. And so if the shot clock expires in that time, then it goes down, but it didn't go off.
And it was just a quick reset, too, because there was still 12, 11 seconds left on the shot clock. So
three-pointer at the buzzer is no good, but probably not really needed. That would have made it a 20-point lead. Instead, it's a 17-point advantage for Central Washington headed into the locker room. They're trying to get to 2-0 in conference play. Natalie Marlowe is trying to avoid 0-2. We'll take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. We actually have two teams from South Sound Roots Sports here that will be playing basketball during halftime. Unfortunately, David and I will not be on for the commentary for that one. You're just going to have to watch it a cappella. If that's the right wording, right usage of the term a cappella. We'll take a break on the commentary. We'll let you enjoy that over halftime. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. About a minute to go until we start up the second half between Central Washington University and St. Martin's University. Scott Gladstone and David Bocook with you. And the first half, for a while, St. Martin's had a lead briefly. Then they kind of hung around between about 9 points down, give or take a few. And then we saw really the Kai and Huerta show take over. The overplays come to them, and when the overplay came, they found open players and made shots. In that first half, David, I mean, what makes, now that we aren't just reading it off of the stat sheet that they average 20 a game, what makes Kai and Huerta so dangerous, and why is this offense have a threat to be one of the best in the GNAC because of those two?
I mean, I think you can see their ability when you see them in person. Some of these finishes that they're finishing, I mean, they are high level, very, very good finishes, highly skilled players, and then you throw on top of that, you're shooting 90+% from the line. I mean, you're talking about two very quick players with a good handle that can get to the rim and get fouled and convert, and that's a very good recipe for success.
As we take a look at the women's basketball standings right now in the GNAC, obviously very early. Western Washington and Simon Fraser are playing today. All 10 teams are playing conference games today. Getting a win on Thursday was MSUB, Central Washington, Northwest Nazarene, and Seattle Pacific. Losing was Western Oregon, St. Martin's, Alaska Anchorage, and Alaska Fairbanks. Missed shot by the Saints. Got back by Angel Galbraith, and she misses a layup on the other side of the basket, and it's Central Washington ball. Very early in conference play, and these kind of late November, early December games are really awkward. It feels like you're not ready to be out of non-conference play. Sarah Lamette picks up a foul, and that is exactly like the two that she picked up at the beginning of the contest. Just her hedging on a screen and doing it a little bit beyond what the refs wanted.
I mean, it's a tough call for St. Martin's. It's probably the right call, but definitely not what Coach Marlowe wanted to see this early.
Angel Galbraith with it after a missed shot by Central. Three-pointer on the way from Keely Jade Smith is missed. Rebound, Wildcats. The other thing about Kai and Huerta, they both played all 20 minutes of that first half. When you're making your free throws, you're making your shots, that's one thing. When you do all that, and you have enough energy to stay on the court and play 100% the whole time, that also is very difficult to deal with. Kai misses that shot, rebound Brown.
It is very difficult to deal with, and you know, with their minutes and how successful they are, you can see why Central has been putting up the points that they've been putting up. You know, high 70s, 80s, they put triple digits up on Hawaii Pacific, and it's easy to see why. They're a highly skilled offense.
Sarah Lamette there misses a fairly close shot to the hoop. I think the Saints, just because of kind of how quick the hands are of this guard, as another perimeter foul is going to be called on SMU. I think St. Martin's probably just rushing a little bit of the shot. You saw the missed layup by Angel Galbraith after the rebound, the offensive rebound on the first possession. You just saw Sarah Lamette rush that one. Maybe just a little bit worried about getting the ball kind of knocked away, so they're trying to push it to the hoop too soon.
Yeah, I think that, and then also just the psyche of when you get down by this much in a game, you feel like you got to make it up as quickly as possible, when actually it's about getting stops and being consistent on the offensive end.
Missed shot there, air ball cooked too long now. It's coming the other way. Yeah, you feel like every shot, the game is riding on every shot that you make if you're going to want to come back. Yeah, and it's a lot less pressure when you're up by 17 and shooting a three. You're just kind of starting to feel it, and if it doesn't go in, it's not the end of the world.
When you're up by 20, everyone becomes a great shooter.
Yeah, yeah. Down to Sarah Lamette, 5 on the shot clock. She turns and flips that one in.
Beautiful little spin move there by Sarah. Love to see that from her. You know, talking about this Central team, that we really haven't seen how they dealt with the high-quality post, so hopefully Sarah can stay in the game.
Take a quick break as there's a timeout called by Randy Richardson. Thornley, it is 41-26. 15-point lead for Central on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. It's 41-26. Central had the lead there. Randy Richardson Thornley going out of her way with their team at the 15-point lead to take that timeout, and she didn't really mince words. Frustrated with the effort coming out of the locker room. They have not scored in the third quarter, and they just allowed the first points of the third quarter on that last possession where Sarah Lamette scored.
Yeah, for a team that can put up triple digits, 2.5 minutes coming out of half is not what the coach wanted to see.
41 seconds left in the second quarter was the last time they scored. Kai turns, tries to score, and a foul will be called on Brown there?
You can see Coach Marlowe not happy with that call.
I'm a fan of a good box out. It looked like she had positioning. I don't know how she got called for that one. It looked like something was happening with her left hand. Her right hand was up there. Oh, that was almost double dribble, but somehow Huerta did not touch that one with the other hand, and then it turns into a Coronado layup.
Nice job by Coronado attacking the closeout. When you have a player that can kick like that and make everyone close out, it makes defense really, really hard. Good job by Coronado.
Rios' three-pointer is tipped. And so a block shot will result in a Sunny Huerta free throw line jumper.
Not a bad contest by Keeley, just a good shot.
45-26, Rios working it around to Brown. After that timeout by Central, they've scored 4 quick points. That one's off back iron. Brown works for the rebound.
Great hustle by Madeline.
Working around the box out there.
If you want to try to claw back into these games, you need to get extra possessions, you need to get stops. Great job by Madeline Brown.
Lamette given space to shoot.
And
Madeline Brown nearly gets another one.
Got to get a stop here. Love to see Angel get one of those calls when she's beating him to the stop like that. Such a hard job to be so quick that you can beat a ball handler to the spot. You'd like to see it rewarded. Good contest by Sarah.
Yeah, Lamette, you see how well she can affect shots inside. That's one of the hard things about not having her on the floor. Missed shot there. She took a big bump there on the lower body, it seemed. Could have been and one. Instead, she just gets the layup.
Great finish to the contact. There was a lot of contact there in the lower body.
I'm sure she knows it if she hasn't learned it by now, as this is going to be a nice pick and roll. But when you have a considerable height advantage on most people on the court, you tend to get less calls. And that's just how it is. Timeout, St. Martin's University. When we come back, we'll update you from scores around the GNAC today. We have 2 games completed. This is the only one happening, and 2 games yet to begin. But we'll get you up to speed on what's happening around the GNAC when we come back on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here, 47-28, 19-point lead for the Wildcats of Central Washington here as they look to move to 2-0 in GNAC play. This is Lauren Morris with it. 9 on the shot clock, now ticking down. Madeline Brown gets it to Lauren Morris. Double team comes, but she weaves through it, kicks it out. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Morris gets the offensive board.
It's good offense, though, by the Saints. That's a good look. You'd love to see it go in, but it's a good look. It's the right look. Keep it up, and those shots will fall.
Galbraith now working it to Brown. Shot clock winding down again. This is Lauren Morris with it. Those hard dribbles that she comes through with. Koki, another long shot. That's going to be an air ball. Rebound goes to Central.
Koki was out of options there as the shot clock just ran out of time.
Coronado spinning and rejected by Kiana Rios. It's out of bounds. Wildcat ball into the hoop.
Good job by Kiana, not falling for the ball fake, keeping on her feet, and beautiful contest.
This ball's out to Kai. Now out to the corner. Three-pointer no good. Angel Galbraith will get a run and kick herself into fast break mode after missing the layup. However, Kai will get the rebound. Galbraith nearly picks her pocket.
You saw Angel try to get the contact there. Good defense, trying to back off and forcing her to finish instead of sending her to the line.
A couple flapped around limbs, basically. Results in a wide-open layup for Capri Sims. That was a weird couple defensive attempts and passes. I don't know. I don't know what just happened there.
Saints are starting to get overly aggressive on defense, trying to make a play happen. Which the score being what it is understandable. You're trying to make something happen for your team, and sometimes you get out of position because of it.
Morris with it. Shot clock winding down again. 3 minutes on the game clock, 5 on the shot clock. Galbraith's going to have to take a three and rattles it home.
Good to see her knock one down. Hopefully that takes the lid off of her for the season. She's a much better shooter than her percentage shows, and I'd really love to see Angel get going in that way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I see her in this gym with the rebounding machine working a lot on her shot. Another foul called on the Saints. As Jalen Rios and Lycodius will check in. Saints right now allowing a lot of fouls to happen on the perimeter, just playing a little bit overly aggressive.
They are. I think that, the nice job by Kiana there. Once again, just staying down, using her length. Good contest.
Talk about how good Asher Kai is at getting to the free throw line, just like Galbraith right there. Rios does not fall for it. Now Rios down under the hoop, gets it to go.
Nice little post move there. Good footwork, took her time, was patient. One thing that you see a lot at the post is you get a touch and people tend to hurry. When you can be patient, you can really get the defender in the position you want to be in. As Central, unfortunately, knocks down the corner three there.
Kira Marsh for three there. Kind of like the shot, kind of looked like Lauren Morris's shot. Lauren Morris rightfully recognizes that her shot looks kind of a little bit like Larry Bird. That is a nice pass into Rios, who is being fronted. She has an easy layup on the other side of it.
Great steal by Kiana. That's a hard thing to do, is be patient and seal, and she did a good job there. She's looking at home the last two possessions in the post.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, she's not a natural post. That was, the ref called the foul on the initial help defense. And he put his hand up in the air, but don't you hate it when refs just take a moment to...
So he did call it on the help defense, but they earned the bonus.
It should be 2 shots. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that this is the right player that they sent to the line. I don't remember exactly who made the shot and who didn't. But it is Kira Marsh at the line. She makes the first. I think it was maybe Shelby Blodgett that made the shot that didn't count. And the timing of the whistle made it seem like it was an and one. Goes 1-2, rebound Rios. 18-point lead here as we took under a minute and a half in the third quarter. Furious once again getting it down to Kiana Rios, and for a third possession in a row. A post version of Kiana Rios gets 2 points.
Now they're guarding that screen in a specific way, and Kiana has understood it, probably because of Coach Marlowe's instruction, and she's getting the seal, and 2 times in a row, a nice easy bucket because of that seal.
Offensive rebound by Blodgett, then a circus shot swung up there by Huerta and nearly goes in off the corner of the backboard. But rebound Saints, they get a big defensive stop. 20 on the shot clock, 43 on game clock right now. Kiana Rios still working inside. Now she's going to go outside. Can she pop this three? Yes, she can.
Kiana Rios coming alive. Love to see it. We talked about needing that third scorer, and Kiana has really stepped up her game here and got it back to 13. We have a ball game.
9 straight points by Kiana Rios, 3 of them in the post, and then as soon as you overplay her when she's grinding down there on the low block, she comes out and pops down a 3. Give the assist to her sister, Jay Lynn. 21.8 to go. Shot clock is turned off here in the third quarter. 13-point game right now. See if the Saints can get a stop to end this quarter.
Stop would be huge here for momentum going into the quarter.
This possession really will decide the mood of the fourth, and it is Asher Kai, a reverse layup that goes in. 5 seconds to go, however, the Saints could get something. 2, and just getting it off before the game clock expires was Koki, but it's too long. 55-40 will set the stage for the fourth quarter. When we come back in just a moment, Wildcats up 15. Welcome back here. 55-40 is the score line. The Saints have improved their defense as this game has gone on. The offense has continued to be a struggle, but they did have 16 points in that last quarter. Big part thanks to Kiana Rios. Saints are in the zone right now. Ball knocked away from Kai on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball. Saints will have possession. Coronado, at first she looked like she was holding that right. She's still holding that right leg a little bit, but she'll work through it.
Once again, Coach Marlowe comes out in that 1-3-1 out of a little break, and it's been a valuable weapon for her. She got another turnover out of it.
Jalen Rios with it, doing a pick and roll with her sister Kiana. Then Kiana goes to the basket, but Asher Kai sends it back. Then Rios does get it back to herself, out to Jay Lynn. Jay Lynn with confidence shoots away. That one's long, rebound, Koki.
Still no shot clock reset, got to get it up.
Traveling called, as that she had that left foot that was the pivot foot, I believe, and she just shuffled it.
Guard came in low there. She wasn't expecting it, kind of threw her off of her rhythm and unfortunately walked.
Gets it over the timeline with 4 seconds to go. It results in a wide open layup. That's a press break right there for Central Washington. Capri Sims finishes it off.
I had a coach tell me once that You don't ever call it a press break. You call it a press attack. You make them pay for it, and the Central Washington was able to do that there.
Exactly. The best way to get somebody out of pressing you is to do that a couple times, and they will stop very quickly. Missed shot there by Lamette Koki working for the board. It's out of bounds. Central Washington ball. 8:45 to go here in the fourth quarter.
That one didn't work out for Sarah, but I like the touches. I like feeding her. Let's see if we can get her involved. She spent so much time on the bench because of foul trouble. If we can get her involved, get a couple easy buckets, keep her on the floor in the middle, clogging up the lane, that can only serve to our benefit.
There was a little contact there, both on offense and defense. Ends up getting poked away by the Saints. Madeline Brown's out there on 4 fouls. This one, our ref held up a fist there, but I think he just meant it was a kick ball, not a foul for kicking the ball, which foul for kicking a human, not for kicking the ball. Lamette with it. Lamette, she'll drive, then kick it out to Galbraith.
Galbraith resetting as the spacing wasn't good.
Kai with 13, Huerta with 10. Galbraith and Rios each have 11 for the Saints. Those are our leading scorers for each side. 5 on the shot clock. Galbraith's going to attack the bucket, float it up, and rattles around.
Beautiful little handle there, getting into the lane, getting to her spot. Nice job by Angel.
Saints still in that full court press. They're just more willing to run around this court and try and create havoc.
You can see Angel read her scouting report, and she's way backed off of Coronado.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of contact there. Missed that shot.
That length is just hard to deal with. Sarah can affect so many shots. Beautiful finish there by Angel. Get it going, Angel.
Galbraith steps in, and then a late foul call, I believe, on Angel Galbraith. Huh. Right now, I mentioned the Saints trying to create havoc just a little bit too much, just get a little bit too over antsy when you're trying to create that steal. I think that's what that was, David.
You know, that's definitely the case, but at the same time, you know, we're closing the gap, and if it is this havoc that kind of makes Central a little bit uncomfortable, and that's what it takes to close the gap, then I'm all for the havoc.
Galbraith. That was only her second foul, so she's doing fine foul trouble-wise. It's Brown with 4. That's the big, that's a foul on Keely Jade Smith. That foul hurts a little bit more rather than going for the steal and, you know, it gets called, whatever. That one, you're not going to get the steal off that one. It's a little bit harder to swallow.
Yeah, that's one of those scramble drills, though, right? Keely gets beat, Angel has to help, then Keely has to take her on the closeout, and she's late on the closeout. It's a good offense. Unfortunate.
Pick and roll right there, and perfectly finds Capri Sims for the layup. The hedge defense was there from Rios, but just didn't get the switch call, did Smith.
And once again, it's communication by the Saints, something that I know Coach Marlowe has really been trying to instill in this team, how important the communication is on the defensive end as Angel throws up the 3.
Rios, offensive rebound, did not hit rim, so the shot clock does not reset. There's 5 on the shot clock, now 4. Smith for 3. Gets rim on that one, but the rebound goes into a jump ball. Jalen Rios forcing the jump, but it is Wildcat ball.
Good hustle by the freshman, though. She's played very well today, coming in. Limited action so far this year, and she looks right at home and looks to be carving out a role for her with her hustle and effort plays.
Well, and such an interesting thing for Jalen Rios to come in because of the coaching change. She's the only signing to this freshman class, and yes, she has the luxury of playing with her sister, somebody she knows, but usually the class you come in with that's kind of an automatic new friend group kind of built in because you're all going through the same thing. But being the only rookie has to be challenging enough, but making up for it with hustle there.
I would imagine it is really challenging, especially this is a very experienced team a lot of people in there last year here.
Three-pointer on the way, missed it, rebound Lamette.
And Sarah, good position in that offside rebounding. Whenever you have a three from the wing, it's going to go to that weak side about 75% of the time for the rebound. Good job by Sarah.
Tried to get the pass into Rios, back on that post, and just pass went too high. I think she was dealing with the fronting and goes over her extended right arm there.
It's a hard thing when you're playing so energized and chaotic on defense to then try to slow down and be patient on the offensive end.
Good rotation around. Nice shot though by Coronado. Smith brings it up. Down to Rios once again. She's looking for options. She's in a double team though. Gets it to Galbraith, who flips it up. Rebound Lamette briefly, but ripped away by Kai.
It was a nice cut by Angel. I would love to see her finish that. I'm sure she's wanting that one back.
In other news, Alabama has just defeated Georgia 27-24 as that one's flipped up and in by Capri Sims. I'll tell you what, I love that the GNAC tournament, pretty cut and dry. There's standings, there's some tiebreakers. Top 6 teams make it in the standings. That's how it is. You and I were talking pregame about the college football playoff. They're going to have a headache figuring out which 4 to put in the Division I FBS final tournament there.
Yeah, that's going to be a mess with Georgia losing.
Can't wait for it. I'm a UW fan. They're in. That's all that matters for me. Timeout on the floor. 4:35 to go. It's a 17-point lead for Central Washington. Welcome back. It's 61-44. Saints ball under the hoop. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Lamette. That's some physicality from Lamette. The shot's off target, however, from the Saints big.
If the Saints want to make this a game down the stretch, they got to get a stop here, and they got to start putting some offensive possessions together.
Yeah, they're going to need to make some big shots and big shots quick. It's still somewhat close. But as that one goes out of bounds, it's really almost score every possession mentality the Saints need and get a stop nearly every possession. As 17 points is a long way to go.
17 points is a long way to go, but if you can get the first few, get some momentum, then the other team starts to panic and things start to go your way. That's not what you want to see.
Not going to do it right there. 4:01. Stays at 61-44. Not writing off a potential comeback here, but David, with a month off before the next GNAC game for Natalie Marlowe and the Saints squad, how do you attack? They only have one game. They have a game against the University of Idaho as a foul is going to be called there on Leah Sopak. They only have a game where they go to Moscow, they play against Idaho. It's not a game you're expecting to win, obviously, against a D1 opponent. But how much of it is it physical? How much is it mental? What do you work on when you focus on the next month, especially for Coach Marlowe in her rookie season?
Well, I think, she's still putting in her system, and it's all about culture at this point. But on top of that, the good things about this game, right, is you had some people in foul trouble. Lauren has been out of the game for a lot today. Sarah's been out of the game for a lot today. And so these players that don't normally get big minutes are getting big minutes, and that's going to help you down the stretch. So going into this little break here, you get to keep working on your offensive. Defensively, they've actually been pretty solid today. It's only 63 points for the Wildcats. They've been putting up big numbers, so that's not the issue. As you see, Coach Marlowe a little incensed, and
Was that a technical?
the ref thought she took it a little too far.
Technical foul assessed to Natalie Marlowe there. That is her second technical. She got dinged up on the road at Cal State San Marcos. With technical as well, it'll be 2 shots for Sunny Huerta. A missed shot. How painful, especially on a coach's technical when you're probably already arguing with the refs and in their ear about it, and then the technical free throw is missed by a 90% free throw shooter, the first one. How hard is it to hold back a ball don't lie or some kind of smart aleck comment there?
I mean, I think at this point, and you can tell Coach Marlowe's not a first-time head coach, because she walked to the other end of the bench and she kind of talked to the crowd and kind of yelled at the bleachers a little bit. And that's a veteran move by a coach, very savvy.
And offensive fouls called on Asher Kai there. My question now for Central Washington, we talked a little bit about kind of looking ahead for St. Martin's. My question for Central Washington is, yes, Randy Richardson-Thornley has 2 very good guards, and Asher Kai and Sunny Huerta. But one, personally, I don't know why they're still on the court right now. If I'm a Central Washington basketball fan and there's any injury that happens in these final 3.5 minutes of a 20-point game, that one hurts. But second of all, if as Rios gets a spin there, and we'll just stay with you through the timeout to talk about this, but if one of them goes down, does the offense go through them too much? And how do you account for that if there is a situation where, they get hurt and they miss some time through conference play? There's a young team around them, and they are very good at making the team around them a lot better. But how do you not lean too much on 2 players that, on average, score 40 points a game for you?
Yeah, I think it's a balance, right? And kind of like you talked about at the opening with a Bowman from last year's, these other players that were around her gained confidence. And the best skill you can have in basketball is confidence. I mean, almost a blind arrogance is actually a great skill to have as a basketball player. Yeah. And so, these 2 great guards making it easy for everyone else. It's only going to improve everyone else, improve their shot making, improve their passing and their ability. And I think that when the time comes that they need to lean on someone else, I would guess that they'll be pleasantly surprised. We've already seen some nice takes by Coronado. We've seen some good shooting on the outside. I think that they'll be fine. My question that hasn't been answered to this game is, how will they do, when they play against a Montana State or a Western Washington with really good post play? Yep. Because Sarah sat out so much that we really didn't get a sense of what they could do against a high-quality post player.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the starting lineup, their big is Capri Sims in the starting lineup, who's a freshman from Post Falls, Idaho. She's the 3rd leading scorer on this squad. A lot of her points today, from what I can think of, have come off of really good passing by Huerta and Kai. And for the Saints, obviously, having to overplay those 2. We just saw Madeline Brown foul out, by the way. Foul total today is 20 fouls called on St. Martin's, 7 called on Central Washington. That might have been a number that Natalie Marlowe was saying, or at least was in her head when she got that technical.
Yeah, I think at a certain point as a coach, you want to feel like you're standing up for your players. Yeah. And if you feel like your players are getting the raw end of the deal, then sometimes a technical is necessary to let your players know you have their back.
Three-pointer missed. Curious with an offensive rebound. It's going to be a jump ball that will stay with the Saints. 65-46. On the other side of this game, we will have game number 2 on the Saints Digital Network. The St. Martin's men's team, after getting upset on Thursday, how will they respond? Taking on a good Central Washington men's squad. Make sure to tune into the Saints Digital Network to track that one. 2.5 to go here in this contest, 19-point game. And again, I'll say it, Kai and Huerta still out there. As that one too hot off the hands. And it's not a bucket in the basket, but it is a bucket in the trash can right next to the water cooler for Central Washington.
It is interesting to see those two guards still out there with 2:19 left. You're up 19 points. But, you know, sometimes a coach feels like they need more reps, or maybe even more importantly, they need more reps with the other players.
Yeah. That's all fair and good. I just think about when as we bring up, we talked about Alabama football briefly. They had that win when Tua Tagovailoa, when he got hurt, when they were playing, I don't know, North Alabama or some FCS school, and Tua Tagovailoa was up there when they were up by 40, and he gets hurt and out for the season, and a lot of questions go to Nick Saban. Obviously, you know, the questions won't be as national as they were for Nick Saban if a freak injury like that happens, but it is still something where at some point it's okay to take your foot off the gas.
It's a fair point. I mean, to play devil's advocate, I would say that, you know, you don't want a coach scared.
Yeah.
And injury is not something you want to think about or you consider when making lineup adjustments. You just assume that they are medically cleared and they're good to go.
That ball goes out off the Saints there, yeah. And at the bottom line, if you're in a team that's really good and you're blowing people out and you take your starters out and they don't play the fourth quarter all year, then they won't be physically ready, and the chance of them getting injured not playing a full game will also happen.
And the havoc that you talked about earlier with the way the St. Martin's players are playing defense and being extremely physical. Like, these are quality reps that these guards are getting regardless of the score.
Physical play right there. You want your team to get used to it, but also physical play. And, man, if I was Randy Richardson throwing anytime I saw number 10 or number 21 hit the ground, I would wince.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're at a minute 25, and Coach Marlowe has all of her starters out. I think your question is getting more and more valid.
Yeah, I mean, there's some extent too, and I mean, apart from, you know, if a freak injury happens, when you say, you know, just when the losing team puts in their kind of substitutes, Angel Galbraith is off the floor right now, Lamette's not playing, then you say, okay, speaking of, Huerta did just hit the bench for the first time today, I believe. She got in her full 38 and a half minutes worth. Rios puts that one up, misses the first shot, gets her own rebound. Now in amongst the trees, gets that one to miss. And then a hard hit to the deck from, I believe, Capri Sims, another starter. And we're going to get a shot clock reset because I think it reset to 30 when it should have gone to 20. 1 minute on the dot to go.
And I think one thing that Coach Marlowe will be happy about is just to see the competitive fire that's still going out there. And another positive to glean from this game is Kiana's looked really good down at the post.
Yeah.
She's been very physical, good footwork, really getting after it down there. And that's another positive to take out of this game.
Ball goes out of bounds after a missed three by Leah Sopak. We are on the dying moments of this game, 51.2 to go. Look ahead for the Saints as a foul is called. Score will be touched by some more free throws. Like I mentioned, over a month off before another conference game. That is January 6th when they'll take on Western Oregon on the road in Monmouth. That's a game that's very winnable for SMU against Western Oregon squad that lost to a Chico State squad that the Saints beat. Saints do have a December 19th contest against the University of Idaho. First free throw is made there. We see Central Washington, their schedule going forward over this kind of holiday break period. They have a game at home against Linfield on December 16th, and they'll take on Evergreen State at home on December 19th, and a non-conference game where they'll host Westminster the day before New Year's Eve on December 30th.
Now, not long of a break. It's basically a new season. You have a long time as a coach to adjust, to put in new offenses, to put in new defenses. I believe the Saints might even be getting a new player or two out this semester. So it'll be a different look, and I have confidence that Coach Marlowe is going to get this going in the right way.
Yeah, a couple game changers could be on the horizon for the St. Martin's women's basketball team. And the next time David and I will be able to talk to you is when those players could be on the active roster, and that'll be all the way on January 18th, the next home game for the St. Martin's women's basketball team. This game is all Wildcats, a 21-point win for Central Washington. Stick around. We'll talk to head coach Natalie Marlowe on the Saints postgame report presented by O'Blarney's. But before we let you go, David, first of all, thanks for joining me on the broadcast today and having a successful broadcasting debut. Not the game necessarily, but it was a lot of fun to have you. Your final thoughts as they do go into this long break. I know you've explained plenty of it, but when you try and capture this game and say, hey, there is still 16 more conference games to go and a lot of ground to make up, new players coming, how do you capture this game and turn it into something positive going forward?
You know, I think there's only 2 games down, right? Like you're barely even scratching the surface of the season and scratching the surface of the talent of this team. There is a lot of talent. They need to kind of clean some stuff up as far as communication-wise on defense and a little bit of patience on offense. But I feel good about where this team is going. I think that they're going to surprise some people this year.
Thank you very much for joining me on the broadcast, David. We will be right back with head coach Natalie Marlowe on the Saints post-game report presented by O'Blarney's. Scott Gladstone here with head coach Natalie Marlowe on the Saints postgame report presented by O'Blarney's. Coach, 21-point loss to Central Washington tonight. It's a very, very good squad, and they are led by 2 20-point-per-game guards there. In terms of kind of the game plan and how it's executed, you limited them in a sense, but they were also able to dispense the ball really well. Just kind of your thoughts on the game and how you executed the game plan.
We executed our game plan exactly how we wanted to. Our goal was to contain 10-21. We keep both of them under 15 points, and I mean we did that. They're great players. They're a very good team. They're coached well. Yeah, it was an uphill battle. I think we were battling a couple other different sources of energy on the floor as well. But I'm really proud of our kids. They stepped outside of themselves on the defensive end, really executed our game plan almost to a T, with the exception of a few miscues. But really proud of our kids. But yeah, they're a good team. Like, they're at the top of the conference every year. Tough one. We got to be able to score more than 48 points to win games.
And when we take a look at the schedule ahead, you guys have one game at a D1 opponent in Idaho. And other than that, you're not playing for over a month. And it's tough to start the conference play with 2 losses, but at the same time, you have to take a look at this next month and say there's a lot of time to kind of reset our minds and attack the next 16 games in the conference. What are your goals for the rest of this month of December, going into January, to hit the grind of GNAC play hard?
Yeah, we've been honestly waiting to get to this 2-week break without a game, because you're taking over a program, you don't have a whole lot of time to work on individual skills and really pouring into the individual player. It's a lot of getting team stuff down, what they expect from us as a coaching staff, our offense, our principles as a team with defense, again, offense. So honestly, I'm really looking forward to it, because there's so many little things that over the course of a season, you just don't have enough time to work on individual stuff every week in practice when you're limited by class schedules and only having 2 staff members. So I'm really excited for where we are. And again, our execution tonight obviously didn't show up on the score sheet, but for everything that we've been asking of them, it's where we assume to be at this point of the year. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. And I think we'll have some things on the second half of conference that teams aren't expecting. I'm really excited about that. But yeah, again, it was a tough night. We got to be able to score, and that's been really our Achilles heel all season. So I like our effort on the defensive end. I think if GNAC teams are watching, they're probably going to take a piece out of our playbook on what we did to stop their big 2 kids. And I'm really proud of the effort that we did in a quick turnaround in a first conference weekend.
All right, Coach. Well, we won't see you back here until January 18th,
right.
So it's going to be a long month and a half, basically.
Yep.
But happy holidays and good luck to you and the team hitting the road in early January.
Awesome. Thank you.
Final score of this contest, 69-48. 30 minutes until the men's basketball team, nationally ranked St. Martin's Saints, take on a very good, regionally ranked in the poll, Central Washington squad. Should be another good one between the Wildcats and the Saints. For all of us here at the Saints Digital Network, thanks for tuning in. Thanks again to David Bocook for joining me on the color commentary. We will see you very shortly right here on this same YouTube channel for the Wildcats and the Saints, the men's version. Thanks again for tuning in. Central Washington women win by 21.